This is The Process Shot. I'm Michael. I'm stuck in a haunted movie theater, and I've seen Wendell and Wild, a new stop-motion animated horror comedy from Henry Selick. It follows a young girl named Kat, who blames herself for the death of her parents after a car accident, turning her anger inward and eventually becoming a juvenile delinquent. She's given a second chance through a program held in her hometown, which has become an economic ghost town after the tragic destruction of Kat's parents' brewery. Naturally, Kat is far from happy about anything going on now, but when a supernatural experience leads to her meeting Wendell and Wild, her personal demons, and being marked as their Hell Maiden, the ensuing adventure pushes Kat to not only confront those literal demons, but also those of her past. That might sound a bit heavy, but the story is more calm and straightforward than anything more introspective. I did expect something a bit more edgier, though, based on the PG-13 rating over there on the poster. It ended up being more like a PG movie from the 80s or 90s when it came to its greater tone. And once that idea settled in, it was a bit easier to think of the film as something from that time frame. Anyways, even if you were to watch this as a movie for younger audiences, it still has its share of flaws, mostly in its writing and structure. There are moments, especially early on, where backstory and general information is relayed directly and in an unrealistic manner that is clearly more for the audience than for anybody in the film. There are also points where it feels like a significant moment for a character is completely absent, and all we get is what comes before and after something that probably should have been seen. On the other hand, they do manage to handle a reversal of this well, in that they foreshadow and hint at plot points in a realistic way which does eventually pay off, and actually feels a bit satisfying for the viewer when it finally clicks. Whatever the case, it all does still work against the experience, making some ideas feel like they're being checked off a list, and some characters feel as if they're only there to fulfill a small role in Kat's story. For her part, she does get a full character arc, but again, it leaves everybody else doing more for her than for themselves. Other ongoing themes, including an overarching subplot concerning the prison complex system, also get a somewhat simplified treatment, reduced more to an exaggerated moral conflict than a real investigation. Then again, given the younger audience I assume they were aiming for, it would probably be too much to do anything deeper. The story overall is definitely more about Kat, but the production is definitely geared towards showcasing the animation. Stop motion is on display in every frame, with the world of the movie populated by actual models and miniatures, which is a nice and welcome sight to see for the first time in several years. Granted, there are a few areas where computer animation seems to have been used, but it's hardly for anything more than a sort of touch-up. On a separate note, it would have been nice if the stop motion were emphasized, mostly because, to me, the animation almost felt so fluid that I wasn't sure if it was computer animated or not. Maybe stop motion tech has just improved over time. Anyways, the art design is also well suited for this method, mixing stylization with realistic touches and making this world feel unique but familiar. Furthermore, even though this is a snowy and overcast town that has seen far better days, there's still a good amount of color sprinkled throughout. Cinematography choices are well handled, bringing a great sense of scale between characters and especially across the setting as a whole, with a number of dynamic sequences that really show off the abilities of the medium, as do some scenes that mix the physical models with flat 2D elements. The soundtrack is also a nice touch, playing into Kat's character and being loaded with punk rock songs. Overall, the production is put together very well, with a consistent design, a good attention to detail, and more than enough evidence to show a clear love and appreciation for stop motion film. It's only unfortunate that it comes attached to a story that's treated with less overt passion and care, though it is still fun, all things considered. Wendell and Wild, Henry Selick, 2022. 3.5 stars. Despite the flaws, I'd recommend giving it a watch. That's it for this review. If you liked it, leave a like. If you have something to add, leave a comment. Subscribe to the channel for more reviews. I don't know if I'd say that this movie is a case of style over substance, mostly because there's plenty of both going on. It's just that the substance is more subpar, you know?